Oh yeah, that's got some zing on it. Dang it. Oh, got me right in a funny bone, bro. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. What I'm going to do today is move the Kunekune pigs to their new grazing area. We have two areas that we graze them. One of them is here. So this is about 12 feet wide and runs 300 feet maybe. So the pigs are right on the other side of the barn down there. So I'm going to blaze a trail right down this side with the weed eater. And then I'll run the 2-strand electric all the way up here to the corner of this post here. I've not run them next to this fence before. I've run them in this area, but I've always ran the electric fence right on the inside of this sheep and goat fence here. So as long as they don't start getting into my fence too much, I'll let it be and let them just run it this way. Also, we are getting out of Kunekune pigs. So our original concept with the Kunekune was a couple things. They're a very small breed pig. They're only 24 inches at the shoulder. The girls range, I think, somewhere between 130 and 170 pounds. And then the males can range up to 400 pounds. So easy for us, for a farm with no real equipment, meaning tractors, trailers, things to haul pigs. Easy for us to manage. So we bred her, and then the plan was sell everything except for 2 pigs, 2 females. So then we would have 3 females on property. Take mom to the butcher, get a year out of her. Next year, take one of the girls to the butcher and breed the other one. Oh, bless you. So that was going to be our cycle. Breed the girl, keep the babies, take a pig to the butcher every year. When we ran out of pigs, breed the last one, raise up the babies, and so on. And then we would always have continuous meat. It's not as cost effective as I wanted it to be. I don't know. It is what it is. We're not going to do it anymore. But for today, get them moved up to this new pasture so they can eat. What do you guys call it? Weed whack? Weed whip? Or weed eater? Leave it in the comments. I always just say I'm gonna go up there and weed eat a trail. So we're gonna blaze down through here, hopefully fast and furious, and get these girls moved before it gets too hot. Well, apparently my camera fell over, but same. Blazing a trail down through here. And here are the ladies. Oh. Hi, baby. What are you doing? Oh, it's a good spot. It's a good spot. Hi. Oh, what's that about? I know. This is Lulu. This is Lil Lou, because she looks just like her. It's actually Lucy. So, Lucy Lou, Lil Lou, and Waddles. Hi, Wawa. AKA Wawa. We do the same thing with all the animals. You know this. So, nice shade tree. These are their huts, their little houses. They used to be, well, they spill their water every 5 minutes. It's like they'd rather spill their water and lay in it than drink it. So, whatever. So these were rabbit huts. See, nothing likes to eat this. Whatever this is. Somebody tell me what this is. Nothing likes to eat it. Not even the pigs. So, this is Mama. Mama. Baby number 1, baby number 2. She also had 2 males, which somebody bought for butchering purposes. So, this is what she looks like, and she's at least 2 years old, I think 3. I know. You can see how she has that extra, almost dragging the ground right there. Whereas the younger girls haven't really developed that bacon, I guess what we're gonna call it. So, we built out these 2 rabbit houses. They look a mess right now. I gave them 2 because with their current size, they used to all 3 sleep in 1. Well, they got a little bit big for that, so we gave them 2. Well, they all still sleep in 1. And they're kind of tearing it apart because they're too big. This is a cattle panel. This was some old concrete wire that you put down in your concrete before you pour it. They tore the linoleum flooring out. So I'll pull this tarp forward in the wintertime, put 1 flap over this way, Actually, it's one flap this way because the wind's coming out of the north that way, and it'll just blow across this way, and then they'll get in and out of here in the winter. We call them pigloos. They're gonna go in there now. Make a liar out of me. The Kunekune is a natural grazer, and every time I say that, everybody's like, well, every pig's a natural grazer. Yes, but I can put a Kunekune out in the pasture with the goats, and they'll just eat the top off the grass. This is all wear and tear. This is them walking. There's no rutting going on over here. This is why I'm moving them, because this is like bare minimum now, whereas you saw what we just came through, just like lush pasture, basically ready for hay. I should have moved them probably a month ago, so that they would have that fresh pasture before this really got worn down too much. This is where we are here, and the pig houses are clear down there. So they have all this on rotation, so they can hang out over here in the trees, hang out over there in the sun, whatever they want to do. You see they start running out of food. Look, anything that runs out of food is going to start looking for food. So this is my fault that they're starting to tear this up over here. They'll eat just about everything. They're like the goats. They're like puppy dogs. They just follow you around. So there's the goat barn. You guys familiar with that? This is the charger. This is American Farm Works, 5 miles. I'm running 2-strand fence, 1-strand, 2-strand. So if you ever hear me refer to that as how many strands I'm running, that's what I'm talking about. For instance, the goat fence, you can see, I don't know if you can see it or not. It's hard for me to even see. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strands. I currently have the goats closed off over there because I'm trying to let the FYP get back up into grazing mode. So this is where I started with 2-strand electric. And this is what I didn't understand until, if you guys haven't checked it out yet, go to Blue Cactus Dairy Goats and watch her video. She's amazing. But Derek is the one that manages all their fence, her husband. And in my mind, and even in everything that I had watched prior to finding Derek's video, you had to complete the circuit, okay? So everywhere I moved an animal, I had to be able to bring finish point back to starting point. So this is a metal knuckle that goes right through this rubber boot here, and that finishes the circuit. So I watched Derek's video, and I had to search for quite a while because I know it just something clicked in my brain that the way he was doing his fence, you didn't have to complete the circuit. So I went and I found that video, and that's gonna save me a ton of fence and give me a lot of extra wire that I can run so that I can make their grazing area much larger. When I made this, starts there, goes to the tree, all the way back into the woods where we walked, comes back up this way, wraps back around, and goes back to the charger. So what I normally do is I will run as far out as I can that way without having to add extra string. I'll come over, follow the fence back down, follow the barn back down, and come back across right here back to the charger, which is fine. It's worked well. But if I can run them another 100 feet up the field and not have to loop this back around and finish the cycle and all that, that's advantage to me. And so that's what I'm going to do. I just have to figure out where I want to break my line. I have my paddles right there, which is technically a gate. I can pop those both off, move that down, and bring something through there. So I don't think I need to mess with that. As long as it's tight, I'm just going to put another pole right there at the barn next to the man door, and the signal will just snap off from there and go to there and stop. And the other signal will snap all the way around, and I'm going to stop it up there at the very top of the fence. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to do a good tick check because ticks are just horrendous this year. Normally we've already started on the garden. We've pulled it all apart, taken up the fabric, taken up the tomato trellises, which we also use cattle panels for. And I just grab a couple cattle panels, give the pigs some food, and then trap them inside those cattle panels. Since I don't have garden torn apart, what I do have is this extra run of fence, and I don't know, and this piece of wood. Put this camera down because I don't know if I can get this out of there or not. Got it. So I think I'm going to do is just set up a couple T-posts down there, make a circle wide of this piece of fence, throw some food in there, close the circle, move the 2-strand where I want it. So let's head down there. That's lame. I'm never going to say that again. We'll go do that. Well, forgot my wire cutters, and I think I'm going to grab a little bit of extra fence just in case. I'm back. Okay, so some extra wire just in case. Other than that, I'm going to try to rig this up, get these piggies in there, start taking stuff apart. So I cut it there, use that length to get from here straight across to here. And now I'm just tying these off. What's a normal, no big, I don't know any real fancy knots. I know them, they're in my head somewhere, but what you don't want is any gaps. So if you have a gap between your wires, then what it's going to do is arc. It's going to try to jump. Like this one, I have kind of a gap right here, so I'm going to tighten that down. Throw another slip knot type knot in there. If there's a gap in your wire like this, say you tie your knot and there's this gap right here, it's going to, the electric is going to jump from this wire to this wire, and it's going to snap, snap, snap. You'll be able to hear it. Just burn down your fence. So just cut these tails off, leave a little bit so they can't slip back through the knot. And now you're gonna not see me all the time because I have to work pretty quickly. I'm gonna run down the whole length of this, wrapping my wires up, and then I'll grab all the poles that I don't need on this run. I'll use those up on that side. Okay, so I got all the wire pulled and wrapped, and now I'm going to start pulling stakes or posts. So I'm still going to run this fence across here, and then I'll just bring it up right across here where you see this, and then we'll go that way all the way up the hillside. So I'm going to run back here, grab all the posts that are still back there, and start running them up the hill. I still don't know where the best place to put you for that, so you'll see me when I get back. Okay, we're going to do a post every 3 steps, A or E, I, O, 9 feet. Scientific. Okay, pigs look like they found all the food, so I'm going to give them a little bit more. That way they don't get anxious and just try to bust through that fence. Now the good news is they're pretty well trained to the electric, so even if I get it up, I don't have to have it turned on to let them out of here. They won't miss a single pellet of that food. So the first time I ever did this, I was like super anal about everything. You know, the wire has to be exactly 4 inches off the ground, and the posts have to be exactly 9 feet apart. And now it's like stab them in the ground, run the wire across there. If it's a low in some place, add a post or move a post down. It's not that complicated. Well, the camera fell over as it does, so I got all the posts all the way up to the end there. Well, I ran out of string. The pigs did a jailbreak. This is why I run the top wire first. So I had the top wire all the way up to the corner almost. So a little dinky dink there will at least respect that. I'm gonna go ahead and run this wire up as well, just since she's out. I was gonna grab a T-post and some stakes. Let me shut this off and get this wire run. Sorry for the miss, guys. You know what? So pigs are out. Well, one of them escaped. I showed you that. They're not going to go anywhere. So I'm just going to come up here and finish up working up here. I was going to put a metal post right there on that corner to come to this post, but I'm not going to do that because these pigs are going away. So I want to be able to run a wire from right here out to where we stand, maybe like right here, up that way, and then connect it to those back wires down there. That way when the pigs are gone, the goats will also have that as a third grazing option. So then we'll have that whole pasture here, the whole FYP, and then this whole pasture that they're in right now. So I'm just going to finish this up with plastic posts. So same ending here as it was down there. Put what basically amounts to a slip knot in there. what I do for here, take my line like that, they're running side by side, and I think it's called an overhand knot. Basically make a loop, stick that through, pull those tight like that. What that's going to do is when I pull this way, now I have tension in both directions, and that's not going anywhere. Let me grab some tension back out of this line here. Now it's just a matter of letting the pigs out, because pigs are very intelligent, but they're also very cautious. That's how they live long lives and multiply and become feral and take over environments. So they're not going to run up here. They're going to be afraid to come in here. Not afraid maybe, but very cautious when they do. They're short. They can't see over the grass. Sometimes they'll eat their way to the edge and then they'll eat along. I could probably leave this fence off for a couple days. They're not going to be super nervous coming up through here and all of a sudden get to the fence and be like, oh, I'm not nervous anymore, and bash through it. Not going to happen. They respect the fence. They pop out in that fence and they get to it, they'll turn around, go back. They know that'll give them a zap that they don't like. It doesn't hurt, it's a static shock, so not painful. So I'm going to turn this on, make sure it's not beeping too quickly or anything. It's beeping at a nice pace. All right, so that's on. I'm going to let the girls out. So that's it, guys. That's it for the fence. Before we go, tell them, go click all the buttons, like, subscribe, thumbs up, tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell a stranger. That's what she said. Do it for Lou. All right, have fun in your mud. Bye, y'all.